My favorite segment of the week, I'm not going to lie, we do a segment called Sports Stories. We're not here to give you ESPN highlights. There's other channels you can watch that. What we're doing here is we're sharing real stories of people out of California that have had their success in sports, telling you just all the things that have got them to where they are and the things they're doing now. Cree Morris joins us in studio. Now, when you think about sports guys, this guy is football. Been doing it his whole life, played college ball, SDSU, made it to the pros, and now he's got that entrepreneurial spirit and started a business around it as well. Good to have you on the show, man.
Thank you for having me.
So yeah, thanks for being here. So real quick, history. So SDSU, St. Mary's, then a little stint in the NFL to the five-tool QB, which is your business. But give us the run, man. Share the story.
Long story short, I was fortunate enough to go to San Diego State out of high school. Was there for 2.5 seasons, left, and went to a Division II school called St. Mary's up by Berkeley, and continued on my education and my football career. And I'm getting my degree from St. Mary's, which is probably one of my proudest moments outside of my two boys. And then getting a couple cups of coffee in the NFL. I was fortunate to go to camp with the Raiders and the Rams in '94, '95.
Very cool.
Spent '96 in London in the World League, and then '97, '98 in the Arena League.
See, I left those two details out. Yeah. I mean, you traveled the world and played in these other leagues as well.
Amazing opportunity.
How would you compare those different leagues, the NFL versus the Arena League versus, what's the other one?
The World League.
The World League, Arena
NFL.
League, and the NFL.
Yeah. You know, as a quarterback, I got to admit, playing in the Arena League was probably the most fun I ever had playing, because honestly, you're picking up and throwing the ball every single down.
Yeah.
You know, the game's super fast-paced. You know, your windows are super small, meaning that the areas you got to throw the ball into, very tight windows compared to the 11-man game, the NFL game. But again, just very fortunate and blessed. I love the Arena League game. It was so much fun, traveling to different cities, and you stay the night and get to go out afterwards and have a good time. But the World League.
Now that's the stories I want to get into. The team going out afterwards. I'm sure you got good stories.
We have some great stories. Some great times that might be for a different segment, though.
Yeah, I got it. I agree. Well, something hangover stories coming to you soon.
Sure.
Wait, but the Arena League, you know, it's interesting because you played in St. Louis. It makes me think of Kurt Warner. He came out of the Arena League and took the Rams to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, his story is incredible.
It really is.
What he was able to do from Northern Iowa. You know, he actually also got to go play in the World League. He played in Amsterdam. And so when he left Iowa in the Arena League, I had actually played against him the year before when I was in San Jose in the playoffs. And he beat us. We were up by 14, and he came back and beat us. He was a hell of a competitor, as he always has been. And then the following year, I actually ended up getting picked up by Iowa and going to Iowa and played in Des Moines.
Isn't that crazy to see a guy like that make it out of that and have the run that he did in the NFL? That doesn't happen very often.
No, very rarely, if at all. But again, he was just one of those special types. You know, he was not the purest fundamentals as far as a thrower, but he was a guy who had unbelievable timing, accuracy, and grit, and he understood the game. And a great leader, and you know, had great success in St. Louis, great success in Arizona, and well, crap, Hall of Famer now. So
right,
you know.
So let's talk about you. You've taken this thing now. So you've lived this sport your entire life. It's in your DNA. You have the nature and nurture thing going. I mean, you've spent your entire career. Now you're investing in others, from junior to high school to college to pro. You've developed a program called the five-tool QB. Tell us a little bit about what you have going on.
You know, about 18 years ago, a gentleman called me up and asked me if I would train his son, a guy I grew up with, actually. And his son was, 10 at the time, 11 years old. And so I started working with him. And that just kind of grew from there and just kept developing and growing and growing and growing. So we're now, every weekend I'm running a camp just about somewhere. And I do privates throughout the week and now across the country.
Okay, so you're running these camps and you're taking people to that next level, the five tools. I'm sure you could spend all day on them, but give me the quick hitter here.
You know, the simple way of putting it is leadership, knowledge. So leadership's number one, knowledge is number two of the game. You got to be a leader to be a quarterback. You got to be the first on the field, the last to leave. You know, the first in the film room, spend the most time studying. Not only do you have to know what you have to do, but what everyone else does. Number two is knowledge of the game. Understanding X's and O's, and also understanding your own teammates and how to get the most out of them. Because it doesn't matter how great you are, it's how great you can make your teammates around you and bring that out of them. And then number three is toughness. And it's not about taking a hit. You find out by high school, college, whether you can take a hit or not. Toughness is dealing with the media. You know, when they're bad-mouthing you in the papers. When your friends are bad-mouthing you at school because you had a bad game or you threw the pick that lost the game. That's toughness. It's the mental toughness. Number four is footwork. You've got to have feet to play this game. And I tell guys all the time, we throw with our feet. You got to get your body in position to make the throw. And then number 5 is accuracy and efficiency. Everyone always thinks number 1 would be arm strength.
Yep.
You know, there's plenty of guys who've won a ton of Super Bowls, who have played at very high levels, who didn't have great arm strengths. But they had the intangibles. They had the other 4 qualities that really set them apart, that made them different. So I'm a true fundamentalist. I teach from the ground up and teach differently than anyone else.
What I think so fascinating about it is, as I'm learning this, I was expecting you to say speed, agility, jump, what all these different physical attributes. And the first three you listed off, these are leadership skills that apply even if you don't play football. Mm-hmm. The other 2 are the physical ones.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, Cree, I appreciate you coming on the show. I'd love to endorse your program. If people can reach out online, if you have a kid who's playing, or maybe you're an up-and-comer, what's the best website that we can send people to?
Actually, the blogspot is 5toolqb.blogspot.com, also 5toolqb.com, and then the qbcoach.com. There's actually a couple different websites, Blogspot now. I'm on Instagram at qbcoach. I post everything on my Facebook page, which is just Cree Morris, just my name, and I try to give them the opportunities to teach and educate.
Well, thanks for coming in here, sharing the story, man. We
Absolutely.
appreciate it. And good luck with everything.
Much.
We'll get you on here again.
Sounds
Reach
great.
out to him online. All right, coming up next, more of the American Dream. Stick around.